Greetings, interwebs. This is Corby with the driving thoughts called Other People's Kids. I am parked along the Columbia River on Marine Drive right by the airport, and the river is right over there. You can't see it, but I'm pointing at it. And consider the following. When you're driving, it's easy to dismiss bad drivers as idiots, as various other names. They cut you off, they cut other people off, they tailgate you, and you start to think of them as just obnoxious people. And let's be honest, they are obnoxious people. Having said that, the more I drive, and especially as I drive for these companies, I do my best to think of other people who are driving and other cars around me, whether they're being idiots or not. That's somebody else's kid. That is somebody else's parent. That is somebody else's source of support. That is somebody else's grandmother, grandfather, brand new driver at 16, who knows? But if you start to think of the people around you with actual faces, with actual relationships, with actual lives, instead of just them being an idiot and having cut you off, if you think of them as other people's kids, you start to have a little bit more grace for them, and you start to be a little bit more sensitive to how you're driving around other people, because you don't want to be the one responsible for killing someone else's kid, for example, or who knows what, doing whatever, accident, bad things happen. So consider that as you drive. I think if we all drove that way, man, everything would be a lot safer. Now, as always, these are about weaving these ideas into everyday life. People can be dumb, and when you see other people who are throwing away their lives or hurting themselves or doing dumb things, the people caught in a sex scandal in the news, it's easy to dismiss the stripper, whether they're a male or female dancer or a cross-dressing dancer or whatever, as just sick and gross and yuck, and I don't want to be around them. They're gross. They're black. The drug dealer, the who knows what. If you think of them as, instead of that, whatever negative light and whatever distancing language you want to use, if you think of them as a potential God kid, because we're all created in the image of God, that person, whether they know it or not, is created in God's image, and they are a potential brother or sister in Jesus. And if you start to see these other people in this other way, I think the way Jesus would have us do that, if you would see them as that, and instead of that, oh, that's just that gross stripper, oh, that's just that whatever, I don't know, drug dealer, child abuser, wife beater, I don't know, and yes, have a righteous indignation for the sin that they're doing and the hurt they're causing, but haven't we all kind of caused the same hurt to God? And if we see them in that other way, and we actually maybe start to pray for them, and we actually, it'll change your whole look. Instead of seeing other people as potential enemies, you'll see people as potential brothers and sisters, which is, I think, how Jesus saw people when he walked this earth, even dealing with dumb people. Yes, he lost his temper. Yes, he called people names. But in the end, he said things like, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He said things like, in this day you will be with me in paradise. And he said things like, it is finished, which he said about us, which he said about them. And anyway, something to think about. The next time somebody cuts you off in traffic, the next time you see something that's just stupid and enrages you on TV, like political ads, it's hard to say, that is a potential brother or sister in the Lord. So there you go. And as a PS, yes, Jesus did lose his temper both with his disciples and with the people he was around. With his disciples, I think he lost it when he said, I don't have the verse chapter, but he said, how much longer do I have to put up with you guys? Because they were being dumb. And when you read John 8, to me, he lost his temper when they call him a fatherless child, and he starts calling them other names. So yes, Jesus absolutely lost his temper but did not sin. Just like we're exhorted in our anger not to sin, but instead cool off and pray for our enemies and love those who curse us, etc. Anyway, God bless you guys. Thank you, Facebook and Twitter and wherever else this may be posted on YouTube. This is going to be posted on YouTube. Remember, at social media everywhere, at Corby Stevens, CorbyStevens.com, and a new blog post coming tomorrow morning about what I'm doing now in my scripture reading, which is really kind of fun. All right, bye-bye. Jess, I'm coming home for dinner, and looking forward to pesto. Yum, bye.